Hi, and welcome to Quilting with Lori. My name is Lori Dickman. Thank you so much for stopping by my studio today. I am working on another crumb quilt today. I have some crumb quilts that I have been doing over the past year, and in fact, I'll show some pictures of those here in the clip here. But I wanted to share with you one that I'm working on now. I've only got 2 rows of it done. I have it pinned up here on the design wall, but I'm calling this Floating Crumbs because it looks as if these crumb blocks are floating on the gray background. And so what I have done is created 7.5-inch crumb blocks, and I am putting them with some 2.5-inch strips that are black and 2.5-inch strips that have the gray fabric, and they're turning out to be some beautiful floating crumb blocks. Let me take you to my tabletop and show you how this is done. Before I take you to my tabletop, I wanted just to share with you, I did get this quilt completely finished. This is a crumb quilt where I made crumb drunkard's paths for the center as well as for the edges, and then I used crumbs for all the stashing. And this is a trapunto crumb quilt, so I also teach you in the tutorial how to do this trapunto. I love how this quilt turned out. I have it here hanging in my kitchen. So I'll link the video below, and you can watch that and see how this entire quilt was put together. So let's take a look at what I have here on my tabletop. First of all, I have a stack of crumb blocks that I have created. And as you can see, I've simply started out in the center of all these and just added crumbs until they became big enough that I could square them up to 7.5 inches. So all of these little crumb blocks here are 7.5 inches. I will link below some crumb block tutorials where I show you how I make these crumb blocks. So make sure you get those made up and have a stack of them. For this quilt, I think I'm going to use 16 of these blocks. I have another design in mind for the rest of them. But those are the crumb blocks. And then I am taking fabric. I just went shopping in my stash. You know me, I love to shop from my own stash and find what I might have. And I'm using this gray dot fabric and this black fabric. The black fabric is becoming the shadow for the block, and then the gray fabric is the background fabric. And I'm simply cutting up 2.5-inch width of fabric strips. I've just done some of the blacks here. These are the width of fabric strips from that fabric. I've got my Stripology ruler out here, and I'm going to cut some additional 2.5-inch wide strips from this gray fabric. And here are the measurements: 2.5-inch squares in the gray, 2.5-inch squares, 9.5-inch rectangles, and 11.5-inch rectangles. And then from the black, we have 5.5-inch rectangles and 7.5-inch rectangles. So that is what is used to create each of these blocks. And I will have a pattern for you that will get up on my website as well. I'm simply going to, first of all, cut up a few more of my 2.5-inch strips using my Stripology ruler. These are great rulers. If you don't have one, you might want to consider getting it. It has all of the lines in there for a variety of sizes. And here I have 3 additional strips. Now let's see how this block goes together. I have enough strips here of each of the fabrics to make the total of 16 blocks. I already have 8 of them finished that you saw on the wall there. So what we're doing is creating this block, and you start out with your crumb block, and you're simply going to attach the black with a, I guess I've got them on this side, the black 7.5-inch strip with a 2.5-inch square, and the black 5.5-inch strip with a 2.5-inch square. You'll sew those, and then these 2 will get sewn on this side of the block. Make sure that they're creating a corner here, which becomes the shadow of your block. Then what you'll be doing after that is sewing this on one side and the longer one on the opposite side, and that finishes the square. Very easy. So this is 9.5, this is 11.5. When your block is finished like this, it needs to be squared up to 11.5 inches. One thing to keep in mind when you're creating your crumb blocks is I do like to use a sizing, either a magic sizing, a Mary Ellen's Best Press, and press them nice and crisply so that they have some body. Make sure as you're stitching your crumbs together that you're not creating curves, which will in fact cause mountains and valleys in your block. You don't want that. A simple way to get rid of it is just cut through it and restitch it to eliminate the mountain or the valley that you might have accidentally sewn into your crumb block. They all need to be straight and level, flat actually. Now I've got my crumb block here at 7.5 inches. inches, the first thing I'm going to do, I've gone ahead and pieced the 2.5-inch squares to these two black sections. I will first of all stitch this shorter one to one side and then the longer one to the opposite side. And I've been pressing to the dark. So all of the seam allowances, I'm trying to press to the dark. I'm going to attach these and then I'll attach these two. And you'll get to see this in just a minute. I've finished another block here. As you can see, I've got the dark shadow down in the corner here. The 2.5-inch squares finish out those rows, and then this gray sashing finishes off the row, or the block itself. I have squared it up to 11.5 inches. For the pressing, I have pressed to the dark when I'm working with the side sashing here. When I'm pressing the gray and the black fabric with the crumb square, I'm pressing away from the crumb. So it's getting pressed toward the gray and the black. Because there's so much fabric in the crumb square, you don't want to be adding more bulk there. So I've pressed it away so that it's the seam allowance is laying nicely on that one layer of fabric. So that is what I have done. And these will be ready to get sewn together. Very simple block to do. I'm going to continue working. I'm going to get 4 more done and get them added to that quilt so you can see what that looks like. I've put the 4 blocks together. One thing you want to keep in mind as you're sewing these gray strips on, it's a good idea to make sure that you sew the shorter ones on the same side of each block. So you'll see I've got the short ones on this side of each of the blocks, and I have the long ones on this side of each of those blocks. And that way they'll all look uniform. There is one block that I have put together up on the wall that isn't the same. It's got the short one on this side and the long one there. And it's not really that noticeable. But if you want it to all be uniform, just something to keep in mind. They're the same fabric, so they really blend well, but just something to keep in mind. Now, let me chat a little bit about my crumbs. If you haven't watched my video on how I cut, sort, and organize my scrap stash, you'll want to do that. I've got a video linked below in this description box. Please go out there and look for it. There's a number of them, actually. If you go out to my homepage on my YouTube channel and just look for the playlist on how to scrap up your stash, I have a number of different videos that will help you get through your stash and help you get things organized so that you can use your stash to make beautiful quilts. And that's what I love to do. Many of my patterns, I would say 90% of my patterns, I am using my scrap stash to create beautiful quilts. This is a corresponding patterns book, and if you go to my website, you'll find these. I'll have a link for them, but you can also open up on my website in the shop what quilts are actually in this book so that you can see what's available. But when I go through my scrap stash, I often end up with crumbs. They're just oddball pieces, things that maybe I'm just too lazy to cut up into squares. They're just oddball pieces that are, at least big enough that I can sew them together to make some crumb blocks. And what I'll do is often I'll take this basket upstairs to my sewing room, which is next to my kitchen. And when I am in the process of waiting for parts of meals to be cooking or baking, maybe I'm doing some baking, maybe I'm doing laundry, I'll just continue going to my sewing machine there upstairs and grabbing crumbs and creating fabric. And then I'll make fabric of crumbs that is large enough to create a block. And for these particular blocks, I made them all 7.5 inches. You can make your blocks any size you want. In fact, you'll see on my crumb playlist that I've done all kinds of different blocks. I've done orange peels, I've done diamonds, I've done the drunkard's pads, as you saw at the video clip I showed at the very beginning of this video. There's so much you can do with your crumbs. I have a beautiful table runner, which I'll grab right now, and I'll lay it out here so that you can see that, and I'll give you the video link so that you can actually go out and make one just like it using your crumbs. All right, so here is that table runner. And all of these little elements here, these orange peel elements, were made using crumbs. The center was made using crumbs. All of this outside border, the sashing, was made using crumbs and adding machine paper. So you'll want to check out that video, which I'll link below. There's, I think, 3 different videos to create this. We start out with the rectangle strips in the center using crumbs. I teach you how to quilt as you go for this particular table runner, and I teach you the adding machine as well as the applique, and there are templates in there for this. So it is a really wonderful way to use up your scrap stash and all of your crumbs. And for for this particular table runner, I dove into my stash and looked predominantly for fabrics that were in the greens and pinks, some lavenders, etc., and just made it a beautiful table runner that I love using in the springtime. I have 3 rows ready to go there. I've just pinned this up on the design wall here. I'm really enjoying this. It's such a quick block to make, especially if you already have a stack of your crumb blocks ready to go. And I encourage you, as you're sewing and going through your stash or making up other projects, whatever leftovers you have, if they're oddball pieces, go ahead and crumb them up into a block right away. And that way you'll be accumulating those blocks to create some wonderful scrap quilts using your crumbs. So again, don't forget to check out the playlists below. I'll have those linked below for how to scrap up your stash and how to make crumb quilts and how to crumb up your fabric. So check those out. I think you'll enjoy being able to use up all of those fabrics that you have in your sewing room. And so I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like the content that I provide, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Share my videos with your friends, family, and your quilt guilds. That really does help my channel to grow and to get out to other quilters just like yourself. Thank you so much for doing that. And until next time, happy quilting.